Now there is an act, at least in Congress, that might do this. What are the prospects? Where does it stand? Where is it heading? And maybe this ties in a little bit to why you wrote, in particular, the article that was published today.
Yeah, so as of right now, there are about 26 co-sponsors for the House bill, 1 Republican, and the Senate, the bill has 6 co-sponsors, no Republicans. I know that does not represent the wide swath of Congress that's interested in this issue, because I talk to House and Senate Dems and Republicans about this bill a lot. I talk to most of their offices, sometimes their bosses, about this legislation. Prospects, not so great. It is an uphill battle. I really think that the Senate Judiciary Committee needs to hold a hearing on this legislation. The House Judiciary hearing went well, and Republicans were interested in this, and Chairman Aliza said that he believed Title VII should be extended, kind of suggested severing the Title VII protections from the rest of the bill. I was at the hearing, written testimony was submitted on my behalf, and so I started thinking, I've been talking to all these House and Senate GOP offices about this legislation. They're making interesting arguments that I'd like to address. And that's kind of how the JAA article came about, just thinking through the arguments that GOP offices were making to me, and then talking to a lot of GOP judicial appointees who support Title VII or some other increased workplace protection for themselves.
So interesting, there's a divergence then between some of the people who are prepared or in the position to make the law and the people who would be regulated.
Yes.
Many of them say, yes, this is important for us too, but so what are the arguments that you're hearing from some of the people in Congress that are opposed or at least resisting? What is the, today, at this point, what's the resistance? This is still the judicial independence and
Still judicial independence, yes. And also, one of the things the JAA would do would be to create a centralized commission to oversee some of the programs, the implementation of the EDR plan, workplace protections, training, those sorts of things. And so some conservatives kind of oppose the centralized commission, which is why I say that a lot of Republicans say we should sever Title VII from everything else. I think we're gaining some momentum on this bill, and it's not the time to do any sort of half measures. But look, there is a distinction between judiciary leadership, just vociferously opposed to being regulated, and rank and file judges who say things to me like, I didn't realize I was exempt from Title VII, or I used to be a state court judge, and nothing about me magically changed when I ascended to the federal bench, such that I should be exempt from Title VII. So it's really just a small but outspoken minority of folks who are really opposed to this.